Guys? Guys? Ooh. My show now! Is Nintendo on the brink of financial ruin?
Or are they making a stupendous comeback? I mean, the internet says ruin, but I don't know how much I trust the internet.
I don't trust the internet for anything anymore. It seems like most of the stuff is higgledy-piggledy.
That's right, sir. Higgledy-piggledy.
Welcome
Wait,
to Nerdstradamus.
I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
Wait a minute, aren't we on the internet?
Don't listen to us.
No, listen to us. Or do what you want. We don't really care.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, we are a little bit after the big Switch presentation, and there's about by the time this releases, about a month until the Switch comes out. Mm-hmm. And this past generation, with the Wii U, everyone has been claiming that Nintendo is in dire straits, and that they're just going to fail, and they're going to go bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. It's actually been being said for quite a while, actually, now. It was during the Wii generation, people were saying that, Nintendo doesn't care about actual gamers anymore, and we're angry.
Well, yeah, but no one was saying they were going bankrupt, because they were making bank.
Yeah. 100 million on the Wii sold. Yeah. Isn't that ridiculous?
Looking at the number of units of Wii U sold, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's...
then right afterwards, of course, then we have this probably one of the their worst failures, which was the Wii U situation.
Probably the worst failure for Nintendo since the Virtual Boy.
I figured.
Which let's talk about the Wii U as a commercial failure for a minute before we talk about the actual comeback they're making. Mm-hmm. So the Wii U was a commercial failure. There's no denying that. Like, as much as Nintendo people will say, "Oh, but it had great games and I played it all the time," blah blah. No, it didn't sell well. It's a commercial failure.
Yeah, it's 10 million lower than the N64, which is actually even pretty low for them.
Yeah. In the 4 years that the Wii U has been out, it has sold 13.36 million units. And I looked this up to see what other systems sold worse than that, popular-wise. And popular-wise was stretching it, because there were things on there like the Jaguar.
And the Neo Geo.
And systems that most people are sitting here going, what are those? I found two systems that most people are familiar with that the Wii U sold better than. The Vita.
Oh.
And the Dreamcast.
Oh, we like the Dreamcast.
We do like the Dreamcast, but didn't the Dreamcast only last for like 2 years?
Yeah, it got killed by Final Fantasy VIII alone.
And the PS2.
And the PS2.
Because it came out the same day as Final Fantasy VIII, and a year later the PS2 came out and just buried
it. Yeah.
So it didn't sell well. It was sold at a loss at first. Mm-hmm. It lacked third-party support.
Yeah, and it was confusing probably from
a marketing standpoint, because number one, it was the Wii U. It's Wii with a U at the end. What does that mean?
Yeah. It could mean it's a peripheral for the Wii. And in the original commercial, people were seeing people using Wii remotes.
And you never saw the system. And even when you did, it just looked like a rounded Wii. It didn't look any different. And the games, it was still the same kind of looking games.
Right.
So people were confused and they didn't understand. We knew, but we're Nintendo fanboys.
And generation-wise, it was somewhat underpowered. Now, while it was definitely part of the 8th generation...
It was part of the 8th generation. Fight me.
Fight him.
Fight me.
Not me. Fight him.
It is in the same generation as the PS4 and Xbox One. There are very few people who will argue that point. If you don't believe it, deal with it.
Yeah. But it was still an HD console. And actually, we can just kind of throw out all the good things it had.
It had the off-screen play, which the PS4 had, but only if you had a Vita, and obviously... No one had a Vita.
Yeah, and it wasn't supported in everything on the PS4. So
no, it wasn't. It was certain things. But it had that. It had a great eShop.
Yeah, and a great games lineup. Just a great original, first-party games lineup.
So that's something I'd also like to bring up. Is most naysayers when it comes to Nintendo talk about how the Wii U had no games to play. And while I will admit it lacked third-party support, no one's going to deny that.
And games were far and few between sometimes.
Right, but in all honesty, how many games do you need to play? I buy a lot, and I can't finish them all.
Some people need to play all the time, and they're always playing stuff.
Fair enough.
But I guess the deal is, though, critically, the Wii U has had nothing but, AAA games that have been rated more highly and more often highly than any other system during this generation.
There were some that weren't great. Devil's Third, Amiibo Festival, but... So when it comes to third-party support, it's not there, but exclusives, the Wii U, and the Wii U's almost dead. It's got one big game coming out yet. The Wii U has had more exclusives than the PS4 and Xbox One have, and even have with upcoming releases combined.
Yeah, and it's got more games running at 60 frames per second at 1080p than any other modern system as well. I mean, you can say the graphical fidelity is, of course, different because they're more kiddie and colorful and whimsical looking games, but at the same time, it still is a distinction that we need to make.
Right, and again, I'll say this, we're Nintendo fanboys, but these are just facts. I mean, if you look at the number of exclusives on the systems, the Wii U had more. Now, the best reviewed exclusive on any system belongs to PlayStation 4. But I'm mad.
Because?
It's The Last of Us Remastered.
Oh. It's a remaster?
It's a remaster of a game that came out the previous generation. A game which I know many people love, but why? Why is a remaster the best scoring exclusive out right now? Why? We need to stop with all the remasters. And Nintendo is victim to this too, and they're guilty of this and everything because
we had the only Zelda games that have come out on the Wii U have been remasters from the GameCube generation. So further kind of compounding the similarities between the GameCube and the Wii U, which we'll get to.
We are going to get to.
Indeed.
But nonetheless, even with all those exclusives and anything, we can't deny the Wii U didn't sell well. I enjoyed the system.
Oh, it was one of my favorites. I mean, actually, probably one of my favorite Nintendo systems ever. It's got more games on it in the eShop and everything than I've ever really experienced. You need to go off to a kind of a used game store like Elite Games to find games like that.
Right. But the Wii U didn't sell well, and a lot of people base their assumptions on Nintendo based on just how the Wii U sold, but they ignore two other big factors that contribute to how much Nintendo has in the bank. And the first one is Amiibos.
Yeah, Amiibos really drove up everything. They were doing really poorly. They had lost money the first, I think 5 quarters. And then the Amiibos got announced, and suddenly Amiibos started they started kind of reporting in the black, and it was awesome. And man, I have 1 million Amiibos. You have a trillion Amiibos. We should get a picture. We should throw it in there.
Yeah, can we show my Amiibos?
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
ridiculous.
But so there's the Amiibos, which really helped to bring in a lot of money. And the other thing that a lot of people forget is the 3DS. Yes, it's a handheld, but the 3DS sells a lot. The 3DS didn't have a great launch, but since the holiday after its launch, sales have only continued to climb.
Oh yeah, and it was mainly because right away there weren't a lot of games to play. You had some launch titles that were marginal at best.
Rayman, Ghost Recon,
all the usuals, some Street Fighter, and then Zelda came out over the summer, and then they had
remake.
I know.
Still, it did still help to drive sales, and so did Mario 3D Land and all the other stuff that came out that was really really cool. But so. Financially, Nintendo, if you look at the gross income, and this is based on actual marketing research, Nintendo's gross income has been in the black for the past 3 years.
It's pretty good.
That is good. Now, it hasn't been great. They haven't been making a lot of money.
Yeah, but they've been still making money.
Yes, and I have some quotes about their financial situation.
Give it to us.
As of March 2016, cash and deposits totaled 534.7 billion yen, which is around 4.46 billion US dollars. This represents 39.52% of total assets. In other words, about 40% of what Nintendo owns is just cash.
Nice.
Yeah, that is from gaming.info, and they weren't the only place that had that to report, but that's where I got the quote from. And also, this is from, now this is about going on 5 years old now, but it's still relevant based on what they say. From the UK Nintendo Gamer magazine, Nintendo has enough money to take a 20 billion yen loss every year until 2052.
That's a lot. That actually they could mess up on the next 5 or 6 systems and still be okay.
Yeah.
And unlike a lot of other companies, that they're just a gaming company. Sony actually just recently they're actually selling off their movie division and some of their tech division. I know.
Really?
Yeah, because they're in dire straits. Their game division's doing fine because the PS4 is rather successful. But at the same time, they have their hands in other pots, and they're as a company kind of struggling a little bit because they have other things to worry about. Nintendo really only has games.
They really do, and which is funny because they started off as a company that sold other things.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all games, but they were like board games, cards, toys.
Cards, yes.
Yeah. But and fun fact about the PlayStation 4, it is Sony's fastest selling console.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll hit the PS2 heights, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fastest selling. It hasn't sold the most, but it's the fastest selling. Yeah. So Nintendo's doing okay financially, and they're not going to go bankrupt. They've got plenty of money stored away, and so we're not looking at Nintendo dying right away.
No, but there's always a worry every time they're about to make some new jump into the future.
Because a lot of people say that Nintendo isn't with the times. They're behind, and they don't have the technology, which... Yeah, the Wii was underpowered. The Wii U was underpowered compared to what was there, but...
And by all accounts, the Switch seems to be underpowered, at least compared to what's available right now.
Right, so... That's fine and all, but... I mean, you can only do so much with power. I mean, yeah, graphically it's fine, but... Wii U games could do just about anything that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games could, except, play online most of the time.
Yes.
But that might change with the Switch. So let's actually talk about the Switch. And is this a comeback for Nintendo, or are we looking at the beginning of the end?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are kind of like, holding the end is near. The signs up. Like, is this going to be the death knell for Nintendo? Because if they messed up on the Wii U, can they mess up twice in a row? Because the last time somebody messed up twice in a row, Sega, that was the end of it.
So let's talk about the Switch and what's going on with it. Number one, it's releasing in March, which is odd for a home console. And as much as all the Nintendo naysayers will try and be like, oh, it's just a portable. No, Nintendo themselves has said it's a home console that you can play on the go.
Just happen to have some portability.
Right. It's fine. It's a home console that is launching in March, which is weird.
Because most companies want to set up their system to take some advantage of the holiday rush.
Right. And we don't have a holiday rush.
No, unless you're trying to get it in there for St. Patrick's Day.
Or Easter.
Or Easter.
Or a late Valentine's Day gift because you forgot.
Oh, look, the Easter Bunny brought me a Switch.
Yay.
Cool.
So, what I like, though...
Parents, do that.
Yes. Make it the best Easter ever. What I'd like to say, though, about this is that while the Switch is launching in March, which is weird, it is kind of mirroring another Nintendo launch, and that was the 3DS. The 3DS also launched around the same time of the year when it came out.
Oh, it did, yes.
And while it did not do well at first, mostly because of a poor launch lineup, I mean, the games weren't great.
And then there wasn't really a good game that came out until like the middle of the summer.
Right. And then even then, the holiday is when it really supported its games. But I think that's what they're doing. I think they're releasing it in March so that it's an early kind of thing. It's already established, and there's going to be people who have bought it, and there are people who have it pre-ordered, and we'll talk about the pre-orders in a minute. People already have the system, then they can focus on the holidays just getting the games. And that's how the 3DS worked. And the 3DS, like, everyone's got a 3DS.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone, literally. And there are people out there who are like, I don't know.
But there are a lot of people who their only Nintendo gaming system is a 3DS.
Right.
They're mainly PS4 or Xbox One people, but then they have a 3DS to play awesome games on the go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Switch launch is mirroring the 3DS a little bit, and I think that's how it's going to pan out, too. We're going to see it's not going to do great at first. I mean, people are going to pick it up like they did the 3DS, sure. But I think it's going to struggle a little bit until
one thing that because I remember them, Nintendo kind of put out a lot of press releases, in the times between, and we're talking about launch lineup being kind of the most important thing, and really they might be trying to put themselves in the best position here because at least it seems like a decent game every month at least until holiday, and holiday has Mario.
And, so hopefully Xenoblade 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So everything's going to be crazy this year.
Yes.
And so in the first few months alone, we're going to have the new Zelda. We're going to have the new Splatoon. We're going to have
Splatoon.
That's what we're going to call it.
You missed an opportunity, Nintendo. Call it Splatoon.
And cherries.
Cherries?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they just come and go.
Yeah.
And of course Mario Kart Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which, yes, it's a remake of Mario Kart 8, but they're adding features.
Yeah.
And I will totally get on that. Another thing I want to talk about, though, is not only the fact that this is mirroring the 3DS launch, but when looking at it, to me, I cannot help but draw parallels between this launch and the launch of the Wii.
Tell me more, Mr. Pan. Dr. Pan.
Just a doctor. I have the PhD to prove it.
Fair enough.
I mean, I made it myself, but anyway.
Photoshop.
Paint. So, I think the Switch is mirroring the Wii's launch a little bit in a couple of regards, and it's not. People will be like, "Oh, it's not going to do as well." Hold on, let me talk. So, the GameCube was a gamer system. I mean, it ran alongside the Xbox and the PS2. It had very similar style games. It didn't have any like gimmicks or flashes, except for
Other
like
than just being awesome and having a
handle.
real kick butt controller.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would argue the DualShock 2 is better.
but nonetheless.
And then we got the Wii, which was a system that had gimmicks, motion controls, waggling, all that stuff, and they focused on making it the family system. Like, this was the system for everybody to get up off the couch and play. And that's what the Switch looks like, because we're coming off the Wii U, which was a gaming system. It wasn't this big party system like the Wii was.
No, in fact, we've kind of talked about it, that it's probably actually the most intensively Nintendo-y system based towards Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
If you're a Nintendo fanboy, the Wii U was your system because,
Right.
all of their history was there. All of their great HD games were there.
But it wasn't a great system for, like, grandma to get up and play like the Wii was, or your parents for that matter.
No. I can imagine grandma slugging through 100 hours of Xenoblade X. So
Yeah.
nope, not going to happen.
So it's kind of like the GameCube in that regard.
Yeah.
And then we're moving to a system where it is getting up off the couch and playing. Like, they focused in the Switch presentation on the Joy-Cons and what they could do, and showing how people could just get together and play, and you can connect up to 8 Switches together, and 1-2 switch and everything, like Wii Sports.
Yeah. You could play 1-2 switch with the old guy at the bus station before
Before you travel across the country.
Yeah. Showing off how good of a cow milker he was.
Yes, because cow milking is a thing.
1-2 switch, go get it on lunch day.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
But they're focusing on that. Also with like a game like ARMS, they're focusing on that motion control with punching and then twisting the arm.
So, originally we thought that they were going to just basically abandon it, just seeing the Switch. But then after seeing the new presentation, they're doubling down on the motion control.
It looks like this is a perfect combination of Wii and Wii U.
Right.
It's giving you the motion control, the couch co-op,
The accessibility.
but at the same time, you're getting all the stuff that the Wii U offered, where you're getting some hardcore games and that off-screen play. Oh yeah, we're getting Skyrim.
Yeah. And the off-screen play was definitely like 100% awesome for me. And now that they're basically like making that the exclusive part about it, that you can do everything off-screen now, rather than just some things like Paper Mario,
Color Splash.
you really couldn't play.
Yeah, you can't play off-screen, but they made it so now that every game has off-screen play, which is good. The other thing I'd like to talk about mirroring the GameCube to Wii transition with the Wii U to Switch transition is
what worked last time.
Well,
what worked last time for the Wii?
What was the GameCube's final game?
Zelda.
What was one of the Wii's launch titles?
Zelda.
What's the Wii U's last game?
Zelda.
And what's one of the Switch's launch games?
Zelda.
So let's talk about pre-orders, because I did a little research on this because I was curious.
Yeah.
Number one, U.S. GameStops are sold out of the first run of Switches. You actually cannot go to a GameStop currently and pre-order one unless they change that between now, us recording this, and when this airs.
Yeah.
But as of right now, you cannot pre-order one at a GameStop.
Yeah, Walmart's still taking them.
Walmart? Yeah, but we're not sure if Walmart actually has the allocation for it.
Yeah, they just keep saying that, like, guaranteed day one.
Yeah, so we're not sure how that works out, because it's Walmart.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what I found to be most interesting, because console gaming is dying in Japan, Switch pre-orders are completely sold out in Japan. There were lines launch day, like incredibly long lines on the launch of the pre-order. And Japan's Amazon sold out of all... What?
Japanazon? I'm so sorry.
I did Switchuation, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all the pre-orders on Amazon for the Switch in Japan were sold out in 15 minutes.
Nice.
Now, a lot of people say, well, that's Japan.
Yeah,
like
Japan's
they're
smaller country,
and
smaller market.
And they're bigger into like gaming in that, but that's just it. Like I said, console gaming has died in Japan, but you know what skyrocketed?
Mobile gaming.
Mobile gaming. And what can the Switch do that all the other home consoles can't?
Mobile gaming.
Mobile gaming. Now, while the battery life isn't great, like most of the time people in Japan are spending...
So keep going.
Most of the time, people are like, they're traveling. They're only traveling like at the most like 30 minutes to an hour. So, I mean, it's perfect because the Switch's battery life on Zelda has said to go for about 3 hours. So, I mean, this is a great thing to carry around, and you can take all the console games with you. So, I mean, that says something about the system that the pre-orders are doing so well on this. So, right away, we've got people who are going to buy one day one.
I will be.
You better believe I'll be there day one. I can't wait.
So I guess the big thing is now, how's it gonna do?
Well, we're not sure, and we won't know until we see it. But this is from WWG.com. Analysts are predicting that within the first 3 years, the Switch will sell 40 million units.
Wow.
That is the same rate the PS4 sold, which, as we said, is the fastest selling Sony system.
Excellent.
No one can deny that Nintendo makes quality games. No one can deny that Nintendo makes quality systems because, I mean, those things will last forever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hope to be able to run my Switch through the wash.
Don't put it in the washer.
No, just by accident. I'll leave it in my pocket.
How big are your pockets?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
uh-huh.
But so we're hoping that this might be a comeback for Nintendo, and we'll see them keep doing well. It may happen, it may not. All the data looks good. Pre-orders look good. We're excited for the system. The launch lineup is pretty good.
Oh yeah, Zelda's in there. That's all that matters. And I'll definitely be picking up Bomberman.
Bomberman at $50 has me going.
I don't care.
I want to see if it's got enough content to keep me going for $50 worth of a game. I mean, Zelda's worth $60. Mobile gaming. So here's hoping.
Oh yeah.
Here's hoping. But anyway, I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
And this has been Nerdstradamus.
Yeah, tell us what you think about the Nintendo Switch. Tell us if you pre-ordered it. Tell us what games you're excited for, and stay frosty, everybody.
Ooh, I could go for a Frosty.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's go get a Frosty.
Oh yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked what you see, click subscribe. Also, check the links below for our Twitter, our blog, and our Facebook page. Check back often, we'll be posting new videos weekly.